Hey, everybody. So, this is the first episode of the Untitled Crypto podcast with me, Chris Wolfpup, and
It'll be slime time.
we didn't really script this, so we just want to actually talk about what's going on. So, forgive if there's any delays between us. Um, and also forgive us for not having a name. We're gonna let you guys choose the names, and we're going to take 5 or 10 of those names and let the Crypto Wolf Pup Discord vote on it. So you guys essentially are choosing the name of the podcast. But with that, we're just going to be talking about news in crypto. There's no shilling. I'm going to say what I like. I'm sure SlimeTime will do the same. He'll let him know if he likes, but we're not pitching you on anything. So
Right, absolutely. Just two guys talking and telling what we see and what we hear.
I'll be honest, I kind of like the no video option just because I wasn't ready for video and it's nice just to chill on the couch and not actually have to look somewhat decent like I do on YouTube, even though that doesn't
Hey,
really work
absolutely,
anyway.
man. That's
So
that's it's amazing to me how many people take a podcast and they want to make a video podcast out of it, a video cast. But I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think they're great because you get to see not only what they're talking about or hearing what they talk about, but get to see kind of their facial expressions and when they talk about it.
yeah, that's
So
true. So I mean I have no problem doing video. I'm just not ready for video today. I wasn't expecting it.
right.
But yeah, if you guys want us to be on video, I mean, you obviously know I have no issue being on video. And slime
No,
time.
neither do I. I don't have a problem with it either.
So let us know if you want us on video or if it's just something you don't really care about. So if people want us on video, we'll do it. But before we get started, I have two that I definitely want to go over, and then we'll just see where the conversation takes us. I'm sure Slime Time has a few too. Uh, so
Yeah.
before we get started, do you want to say anything at all?
Other than I'm excited to get this started. Excited to see where this goes. The future of this, the future of the Wolf Pup Discord, and the future of your YouTube channel too, because everything seems to be growing pretty quickly. So
Thanks.
I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see where it all goes. I'm excited about crypto in general and seeing where all it goes. Because I mean, we're still in the infancy of crypto, even though we've got Bitcoin and Ethereum that's been around for a while. But like as an essence of crypto itself, I mean, we're still babies. It's still babies. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's just exciting times.
Yeah, what was it? I think I saw it in a power podcast or a power AMA that that only 3% of the world population invests in crypto, which does seem very low to me, but I personally
I mean,
only
it's
know two people. Actually, I personally only know like one or two people other than myself and Slime Time and the people I know in my Discord and I meet online that are actually into it. Like my real life friends they have no idea about it, and they're all really scared to probably get in.
and that's the narrative is that there's so many people that get fed from people that aren't in crypto to sit there and tell them, hey, this is it's volatile, you don't want to get in it, it's not going to last, it's not going to be here in the next 5-10 years. It's the same narrative over and over and over from financial people and non-financial people that just keep telling them, hey, don't get involved, don't waste your money. It's but crypto has proven themselves. It's already proven themselves that they're going to last.
Yeah, what
Bitcoin is going to be the gold standard, 20, 30 years from now. Even though, I mean, there's no technically utility for Bitcoin, but it's going to be gold. It's going to be the replacement of gold
yeah,
in crypto.
my question to you saying that though is Bitcoin started in 2009. How long is this 5 and 10 years that people are saying that? Because it's well over that at this point.
Yeah. So they're referring to everything else. Like they're not talking about Bitcoin. They're not talking about Ethereum. They're talking about all these other altcoins that are just keep popping up, popping up, popping up. That none of them are going to last, and that's just one aspect of crypto in general. I mean, now we've got all these node projects. We've got so much in DeFi and so much in other stuff and actual real nodes on top of that that a lot of people don't know about. There's so many levels of crypto, but yet they just most of the majority of financial people and everybody else just stay on the top part with all just the coins and the day trading and all that kind of stuff. Nobody dives deep except for like us into all this other stuff.
I mean, there are definitely node projects that aren't going to last, and that I'm questioning myself on getting in. Then there's some that aren't doing that great, but I think will recover, and there's some that haven't. Like example is Power is they're trying, but I don't see them really, at least from my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, and everyone listening, comment if I'm wrong and let me know your opinions. Um, but I just don't see, like, they don't really seem like they're really trying to build utilities, which I think is what's needed at this point for nodes. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I
Um,
last AMA I watched, and I haven't seen a recent ones, so I may be misinformed there. It's hard keeping up with all the stuff I'm doing, but I'm trying my best.
I
And
know the feeling.
but last I heard, they were trying to open a store that's going to sell Xbox games. How's that going to help Power Token? I mean, yeah, people will buy it with Power Token, but short of that, I just don't
Yeah,
see that as
that. Yeah, I don't see that as a good utility other than like, yeah, I don't see how you get the capital in there or get the initial investment of the power token into that. Um, but you hit the nail on the head with the utility. Like every single one of these node projects will not last unless they bring in serious utility. And a lot of the a good many of them are seriously doing as much as they can to bring utility. All most of them seem to already starting to want to build their own blockchain. Like Project X was just going to be a subnet of Avalanche, but now they've decided they're going to build their own blockchain, which will help them out. Uh, they're getting band-aids for the utility right now, and until one of them comes up with a great idea to be able to utilize the supply and demand, you got to have the demand for the token. So you got to figure out that utility for that.
I mean, you bring up Project X, and for those who are holding it and maybe just fell on the wayside because it hasn't been really doing much, they have actually released the new contract. So I think it was 2 days ago. I ended up switching over to the new contract, and
Yeah, it
it
was over
looks
the
like
weekend.
yeah, and it's a new coin now too. It's not PX2. It was just PXT now.
Yeah, it's back to PXT and its original Dex address, I think it was that they talked about, and and doing the new contract with that and helped them boost up a little bit, and they're gaining towards doing their own blockchain now as well. Which there's Vapor's another one, Red Light Node District is another one. They're all building for those blockchains.
Yeah, Vapor, I do like. That was actually I only been in for about 2 months, like pretty heavily. I mean, I bought SHIB when that was just at its infancy of growing. I bought some Doge a few months before that. That's personally why I do like nodes is and auto basing coins is I was really thinking SHIB was because they were talking about doing their own chain, which I think that
Mhm.
fell through, but that was really getting hype. It was getting like every fourth article on my or on my Google feed on my phone
Mhm.
was about SHIB. So I thought, okay, I'm going to be a billionaire in a year. That didn't happen.
Uh,
Nope, that didn't happen at all.
no, you had to, with Shib. To me, I didn't really get into Shib. I got into Doge right before Elon pumped it up, and I made a little bit off of Doge. But with Shib, I just thought it was what Doge was supposed to be. Was just supposed to be a joke in the beginning and saw how a lot of people jumped in early, and then it was like a few whales bought in and jacked the price up, even though it still was less than like I don't even know what the price for it is now, but is
I
it
want
even?
to,
It's still less than a penny, right?
yeah, I want to say
Yeah,
it's like 4022. Let me
yeah.
say.
And but even then, they've done. I think they've done well over 1,000x, if not close to 10,000x or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Uh,
still made like 500-600 bucks on it, which I cashed out about 2 months ago and started getting into nodes.
right. Um, but it's those type of coins that people, the financial people that I was talking about, that they just like, this is a joke. Why do people get in there? Well, people are making money. It's just you think it's volatile and that nobody's ever going to make money or it's ever going to last. Um, but talking about those types, there's a guy by the name of Richard Hart who created a company called Hex. And
What was
X
that? It
was
kind
the
of broke up on my end.
I'm sorry. Um, Richard Hart created a crypto called Hex, HEX, and it was the first true stake uh, crypto, where basically you bought Hex, you had the opportunity to stake it, you did, or you didn't have to stake it, and I mean it's only going for 12, 13 cents right now. But it is done from the initial start to now. It's done over uh, well over 10,000x. It's made plenty of people millionaires, and it's still going strong now. But it was the first crypto that was of the delay, the gratification, the delaying gratification of basically making money quick. You which at any investment, any financial thing, you very rare do you make money quick. Crypto kind of changed that. But in the long terms, you still there's still long term investing, and he kind of started that to get to where he is now, which was Pulse Chain, which is going to be a hard fork off Ethereum, um, and basically anybody who if you've been in the hex world or anything like that, you kind of know what's going on. Well, Pulse Chain is the hard fork of Ethereum. Basically, it's he built it to help Ethereum and to take the kind of the load away from Ethereum. At least that's what he's been saying. And he created it to basically not be completely gasless, but basically pennies on the dollar and to never rise, because it's not proof of work, it's proof of stake, is what it's going to be. It's a very interesting concept. He's like already been out on testnet. Did find out that the devs finally told him that a possible launch date of mid-May. If anybody's interested in looking into that, you can go to pulsechain.com or howtopulse.com as well. And there's a lot of information. There's lots of YouTube videos about it as well. K for K Crypto on Twitter and YouTube has a lot of great stuff about it.
Um,
There's a lot of exciting things going on in the
yeah,
crypto world.
I might look at that, but back to talking about the nodes before and utilities.
Yeah,
For those who don't know about the like Vapor is probably between Vapor and Polar are my two top nodes right now.
right.
I am excited for what Lava's going to be doing with their flex node system, but
Hmm.
the with Vapor having they just did the airdrop or the snapshot yesterday. The
Right.
airdrops coming through, and like we're talking about utilities, and there's quite a few of these that's either doing sub chains or doing their own chains, and Avalanche is doing that, but that's not why I'm really liking them. Not sure if you know about their what's going on in 2 days on the 23rd with their claim tax now.
Yeah, I think so. I think I remember. I know what you're talking about.
With it's very interesting to me that because pretty much all nodes have been on a downward trend with the exception of Polar for some reason. I don't know what they're doing, and I would love to find out what they're doing. But they're all been on a downward trend, And a
Right.
lot of it is because people are either taking their claims, getting their ROIs back, or creating nodes, which all in return are creating sell pressure. They need to take this money and put it in at least a good node. Let me put it that way. A good node should be taking this money and put it into a treasury that's not their own coin.
Right. Absolutely.
And Vapor's treasury is ridiculously big. I'm very impressed with it. And I don't mean to sound like I'm shilling it. I really don't. I'm just really impressed with their treasury and the fact that they're actually going to be doing their claim tax. That 90% of the claim tax is going to be in AVAX out of your wallet,
Yeah,
which
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
which is going to curb that sell pressure because then they could just take that AVAX and put it in to their treasury. Well, it's like 10% is going to be in Vapor, which will burn. It's also giving you more tokens, which is pretty cool if you really like it. So I was a little hesitant on that idea at first, and then I actually thought about it a little more, and I
Hmm.
actually really do like that. And I do think that needs to be more of a standard for a lot of node projects.
Yeah, that's a very good utility to add. And like with Vapor, they're also they're going to have their own chain as well. And then there's another aspect I think that's getting utilized by Dark Forest coming up. That's a burn feature, where basically, um, anytime you do a transaction, I can't remember if it's going to be on the leaf or if it's with the NART token, but basically any transaction involved, and I can't remember how the liquidity of it is going to actually take place, but in essence, the whenever the transaction happens, that a percentage of the NART token gets burned. So, or the leaf token, one I can't remember which one it actually is. Um, so it brings to the point where there's not going to be as many. So this, I'm trying to think of the actual term, um, but basically it makes it more rare, to the point so that will build to build price value, as supply and demand is just a regular thing, but if the supply is short, the demand of it and price will grow, which I think is another cool aspect that I think some of the projects are starting to try to implement.
The thing, I don't know how much this is actually affecting the value though. I know it's supposed to, but when I look at coins that are burned in like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko,
Hmm.
they're including the burn wallet in
Oh
the
yeah.
total supply. At least the ones I looked at have, because it has a total supply, and then like it's burning so much every day or every week, but the
Hmm.
total supply is not going down. And I don't know, like I know that was the thing with SHIP. They were burning, but the token supply wasn't going down for some reason. And I'm not sure like why that is, or maybe I just misread it, but it
Or
also
maybe they're
doesn't
not. Maybe they're.
like the
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
price. Oh, sorry. It also doesn't seem like the price on these coins that implemented these burns months ago.
Hmm.
It also doesn't seem like the price really went up from it.
I think it all has to do with the percentage of the burn versus the percentage of the total. So, like, if you've got a billion coins and only 100,000 gets burned every day, you're not going to see but minimal changes, if
Hmm.
any at all. But let's say you're sitting on a billion coins, and then over a month's time, 1 million to 2 million got burned, or a little more than that. I mean, it's not going to be like huge changes, in my opinion, but it's still helping in the long run, and that's where I think it may not be. It's that long term investment type, as these continue getting burned. But I get what you're saying about the not showing the decrease, and I don't think they'll ever show that on like on the charts or anything. like a CoinGecko and all that. I think they'll keep the total amount of coins or tokens always at that total amount and never show that they're like Bitcoin still shows the total amount of Bitcoin, right? But then it shows how many's in like out there. So that may be where it shows that it doesn't have the same amount with it. That's I guess they're whatever's in. I can't think of words today. Um, like
Yeah, it's I just looked at SHIB. It said 41% is burned. So you're burned almost half of it, but and it tanked really bad and it never really grew. So I just don't know how much burning actually really helps. Especially with deflationary tokens where there's not really a fixed number.
right. I see what you're saying. Um, and maybe it's not as good as what I thought. Circulation, coins and circulation. That was what I was looking for. Um, but uh,
Do,
I just know there's
do me,
several that have been told. Yeah, go
do me a
ahead.
favor, keep an eye on that and see if they match up over the course of next week, next
Yeah,
episode, because I want to see if it actually is as effective as people say it is. Because I have my doubts on it.
and I totally get that. I definitely will. Because the people that I've heard talk about it, it's a great thing, and maybe it's just a ploy to make people think that it's working. They're all about tactics. Everybody's about tactics. Um,
Are
because
they
they're
all like
trying to
project team members and stuff like that they talk to
not
you about it?
just some aren't project teams or team members or anything like that. Most of the time, it's just influencers I see talk about it. So I mean, they could be getting paid at the same time to talk about this product, and then that's just an um, easy go to
I mean,
because it gets talked about a good bit now.
I definitely have like actually I don't even know. I don't even have burn in my when I do the reviews anymore because I don't know. I just seen so many coins that I was in or I was gonna go in that say they have these burn features and it just doesn't seem like it's actually helping as much as you think. And if this was an actual real thing, unless everyone just got completely sick of SHIB and sold it all at one time, or just every week sold a decent amount. So looking at the chart, I there was a really big tank, but this is like 50%. And I know they have an extremely high market cap, but I mean, it's 50% of it is being burned supposedly going to this dead wallet. And when they sent the I forget how much they sent, like 10% of it over to what's his name? The guy who created Ethereum.
Uh, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Um,
he ended up actually he ended up donating them. I don't did he burn any? I
I
think
can't
he
remember if he did
sent
or
a
not.
little bit to I think he sent like 10% to a burn wallet or something.
Yeah,
But I mean, this massive amount of burning with SHIB, it just doesn't seem like it did anything for it.
and maybe they did something different. I know on the test net with Pulse chain on their Dex Pulse X. They have a on their deck screen. They have a actual buy and burn button that anybody can go and click and burn off of like theirs burns off liquidity. I don't know how SHIB does their burn, but with the Pulse X, they burn other tokens um, to burn or whatever is off the liquidity pools
I mean,
burns Pulse X, and like you see how much is burned, and the price is even though it is just testnet and it doesn't mean anything. I mean the price has gone up a good bit watching it, but like I said, I don't know what SHIB is doing on their burn, I don't know how Dark Forest is doing their burn.
You
I know
said
that.
you said something. You said they burn the coins out of the liquidity.
Yeah, so anytime like so with theirs, it is the coins that you're using to either create in liquidity and whatever liquidity pools that they have at the time, um, against Pulse X. I I wish I could go into more detail and know like I was trying to understand it as best I could. Um, but basically, um, it's burning Pulse X, but it's burning off of the tokens that get put in or whatever happens with liquidity pool. I'll have to dig into it more.
I think
To tr-
that actually might be what needs to be done because just burning random tokens,
yeah,
I don't think is helping as much as people want to believe it is.
right.
But I think
Yeah,
burning the liquidity, I, I, I think I think that could help, but it's also kind of risky because there's a chance of running out of liquidity. But I think that's where you're going to find supply and demand because if people are holding it and want it and they're kind of lacking how much is available and not just like burning random tokens like off of a sale.
yeah,
I buy say 100 of this random coin and they'll burn like 10% and give me 90. I don't think that's going to help because it's not touching the liquidity. It's not really lowering the supply and demand. But if you're burning it from the liquidity, then yeah, I could see how that's affecting supply and demand.
yeah. It burns from liquidity pools, and I think it has to do with when they put into liquidities, and it's burning just the one token. It's just burning Pulse X in the Pulse. And
So
looking at it right now, they burned a total of 21.5 billion. And the price was like four zeros. And once again, this is all test net, so none of these numbers truly matter yet until it launches. But the price was four zeros and before, and now it's up to two zeros and a one. So it's it's showing that it's working, I guess,
I
and
mean,
the fact that somewhat.
I could definitely see that being like burning liquidity helping a lot more than random tokens. But then it comes a question of security. Because I personally do like doxed. I do. Um, but I do understand why people don't. Didn't red light node districts team get death threats or something like that?
I'm sure they've caught everything under the sun because all of them are they're docs. I mean, they do AMAs, they do video chats with everybody on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Yeah, I think it
So
was red light, but there was one node project that's still around who was receiving death threats. So I do understand because it could be like something that happened, like there's an exploit that not isn't necessarily the team's fault. Yeah, maybe they should have had a better auditor or something, but it's not necessarily their fault if there's a really smart bad actor that figures a flaw in something that maybe didn't get caught. Um,
you wouldn't be referring to unicorn, would you?
yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
that's the case. I'm sure, considering nobody can message on their Discord now,
oh yeah, yeah.
but it's open
No,
for a police investigation.
yeah. So we think, all we can go off is what we've been told. But in my opinion on that, like, okay,
I actually wasn't referring to that, but
that's the only thing that was coming to mind for me. I'm sorry. Like, I guess it's just too close. It's just
no, no, no. But I do understand the apprehension to docs for that reason.
yeah.
But as a security aspect, as an investor, I do like doxing, and it's kind of a double-edged sword because you can't have it both ways. It's either you're risking your security or you're risking the actual life of the project manager at I mean, could get to that point, especially with some of these people who may not realize that it is very risky in crypto. It's and if you don't do
It
your
is.
research, you just buy in because some YouTuber says, "Oh, I love this thing. I bought this much on pre-sale. I'm making this much a day now." And
Oh
so
yeah,
they they go
yeah.
all in. Um, kind of why I want to show people that you can start small and build something. You give it some time, and then maybe go in a little more if it's working for you. But don't like throw everything in you have and then just hold it, not get your return back, and then something like that happens. Um, and it's where am I going with this? So you do have the risk, both the risk on both ends, but I do like the doxing, and I completely lost track from where I'm going with this.
No, but I get what you're saying. To me, if you're going to create a project and you're going to put it into crypto, or you're going to create a token, or you're going to do anything of that nature, um, in my opinion, yeah, you should know who the team is. You should know the team should be out there. Whoever's involved. Um, it shouldn't be one of these games where, oh, hey, I'm not doxing until maybe if we get to a certain whatever. No, like then you're expecting, to me, and once again, like you said, it's a double edged sword. I get that there's risk, but there's risk with everything, especially starting business and finance. If you don't think, in my opinion, this is totally my opinion, and then there'll be some naysayers about this. If you feel that you can't dox yourself because you're afraid your project's going to fail, then don't do the project. You need to be
Yeah,
100% in on your project, and that it's never going to fail up until the day maybe that it does fail. Even the day before that, you should be 100%. Hey, we got this. We're going to take care of this. Um, there's so many of these projects that is the first sign of adversity, and they're like, oh, let's pull the plug. Let's pull it. And it's like,
Seifu,
dude, come on. Yeah.
Seifu, you know
Yeah.
Seifu, right?
Hmm.
Did you see? I'm pretty sure it was Brian's first video. Did you see that?
I didn't see that one though.
He blocked out like the number and the address, but he physically showed his physical ID there.
Yep.
That's yeah, that's someone who definitely feels that way. So that's one of the reasons I do like it.
Yeah.
Um, but that's to go as far as to show your physical ID on camera.
Hmm.
It's just wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's how much he try. That's how much he believes in what he's doing. But then that also goes to uh, we talked before about like you were saying, don't jump in, don't get investment in quickly without doing your research, doing your own research. Like you said, just because one YouTuber says, "Oh, hey, I'm making this," well, he probably got in for free or got a whitelist in because he got paid to do a review on it or whatever. And so he got to be able to, whoever got it, be able to get in early, got in on, and everybody, those influencers are all about ROI. Get your ROI first and all this stuff. Nobody's in it for the long term because nobody believes that these are going to actually last. And the ones that do believe in these projects and the ones that do want to do long term, they're the ones that actually get burned because there's so many of them that will follow the big influencers about get your ROI. So they'll, instead of doing long term investment, they'll boom, sell, and it just puts more pressure on the team to try to build. Um, and that's the thing that I was, when you were saying, you know, do your research, get in slow, and it's almost you can get in slow, but like I feel right now, it's so hard to get in slow or to try to stay that course because everybody's pushing everything. Like there's projects left and right that are coming. There's like 5 projects launching maybe today, and then 5 more tomorrow, and then it's like you
well,
don't have enough time almost to research to the point where, hey, can I get into where it's not going to cost me more than what I could have got in at that point in time.
And
Um,
I also think like you said about the advertisements, it's and people like saying all these okay, it's great that there are these people buying in big things. And maybe they've been in a while, and I hope they've been in a while anyway. But like Polar, for example, it's a project I really do like. I I don't know how much like they have something new called Polar Guardian coming out, which they're kind of keeping their a lid on, which I
mhm,
completely understand why you need to do that. Um, you don't want people stealing your ideas before it launches.
right.
But, they just released another another tier, and I want to say the tier is like I want to say it's 3,000 Polar,
Mhm.
and so that's like $9,000 at this point. And I'm
Oh yeah,
on Twitter, and I'm saying, yeah, I just got an Olympus. I got like 5 Olympus. I actually responded that because I do like that they added a new tier for the people who's been in a while or the people that can afford it because the
right.
payout's like 120. No, I think it's higher than that. It's really I can't think of the payouts. Let me see if I can find it. But it's a massive payout of Polar every day. I actually posted on Twitter like this is nice. I wish I could afford it, but there's no I'm not affording this. No way.
Right.
But I hope someone in my community can get it. Yeah, there's no way I'm affording that. And I just hope somebody, like I said, I do believe in Polar. They are doing something right. I don't know what they're doing, but they had not gone down like every other node project has the last month. Um, but they're so I do like them and I like the team. And with the NFTs now, they're obviously doing something right. But if you don't own Polar, don't buy an Olympus
Yeah.
unless you have a job that's paying you like $8 million a year. Trying to
Yeah, it's
find.
120 polar for the
Oh,
Olympus.
you found it for the payout.
Yeah,
I mean, you could definitely grow your portfolio that way, but
absolutely.
how
Um, the
you
tax
got some
before
time
ROI is
before your ROI.
30%.
Your
Yeah,
tax before. That's one thing I like is that they're I don't know
yeah,
other node projects that are actually giving you like a 1 to 2% tax once you clear your ROI.
yeah. And that would see that's the great thing is that that's keep making everybody not making but giving them the option like hey you can if you're doing an Olympus and you're getting 120 a day or whatever and you don't want to get back to 3,000 that's 30%, but hey if you ROI it's only 14% tax, so I like that idea.
They're after
Get
ROI is 14 on Olympus.
Yep.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
know the other ones are like 1 2%.
Yeah, it jumps. So the
I only have the most I
Ushire.
have is and yeah, and once again, I actually built this over the course of like month and a half, 2 months, where I'm now sitting on a, well, one's actually being in a giveaway tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I'm actually sitting on 6 month blanks when I started with one Fuji.
Hey, that's doing work right there.
Or no, I started with 1 month blank. Sorry, 1 month blank and one Fuji.
I was
Um,
about to say one Fuji, and you got to. I was like, man, that's doing some work right there.
I think what really helped me out is when
You said, yeah, you said they dropped the price.
they dropped the price and then they also allowed merging from Fuji to Mont Blanc.
Oh,
So I already had a
okay.
Fuji sitting in my wallet. I'm like, okay, I got a Mont Blanc here. It's at 65 right now, normally 80, which I ended up getting a lucky box anyway because I wanted to test it out. They looked really cool, but I don't know why I bought it because if I get a scratch off lottery ticket, it'll say I owe them $10,000. I was worried saying like I'd get a picture. Yeah, you owe us 5 Everests. Or,
Yeah.
um,
Uh huh.
but yeah, they had that, and then they also had the opening uh of being able to level up the Fuji to the Mont Blanc. So I ended up getting
That's
a
that.
lucky box, and then I ended up picking up. I figured, okay, if I spend another 35 on this, it's gonna burn 5, but that's fine because it would help the project. Hopefully, like we had talked about before, if burning helps,
Right.
it'll help 5 polar. Probably not much, but um, and so I figured, okay, I'm just gonna burn the 5, spend 35, and just upgrade it to another one. So
Right.
why
Yeah.
not? It's saving me like close to half, more than half if it was actual full price of what because I didn't even realize they lowered the price
Hmm.
until I went to make a video of how to merge or how to buy. I was gonna buy a Fuji, and
Right.
then like I had to stop halfway through my video, and I think I re-edited it um, because I was just for like a good 5 minutes. I'm like staring at the screen and going back to the white paper. Like this can't be. This isn't right. What's going on here? I'm just that they look.
Oh yeah.
They won't mention how long it's lasting. So I'm hoping I could build up to an Everest before they up the price again, but I doubt that's going to happen.
You never know, man. You never know. It's possible. That's like with the red light nodes. I was trying my hardest when they had districts on sale for instead of so with red lights you do mansions and then districts and then cities. Um, and their token's called Playmate. And so 20 Playmates makes a one mansion. And then like they have a tier system to where once you get to 20 or 15 or after 10, sorry, after 10, it becomes 25 Playmates and then so on and so forth. They just up at every 5. And so they were doing a sale on districts where a district takes 20 mansions and 20 Playmates to do one district. And then they were doing just 10 mansions. And the reason why I was trying to get to districts was because they started once they had a huge sale pressure going on, and everybody was getting scared because all the prices were dropping on everybody, and so they put a 50% mansion tax. It's not a claim tax, not a sale tax. It's just they call it a mansion tax, and so basically it just goes along with the claim tax because there's a claim tax on top of that. So anytime you claim your mansions or your profits off your mansions is a 50% and a 15% is a 50% mansion and a 15% claim tax.
So is it
And
15% off of what you have after you're 50, or is it like combined 65 altogether? How exactly is it?
the way that I did the math, it felt like it was 65 altogether, like it was 50 off of the total and 15 off the total. Um, is way that I saw, or the way the math kind of added up to me. And then on top of that, that's just the claim. Then they have a sale tax and a whale tax on top of that if you plan to sell. And I can't. The sale tax is
Well
like
or
depending
whale?
whale, as in like
Okay.
a crypto whale. I'm sorry.
Everybody
So
gets
there's
hit with the whale tax.
yeah, yeah. Um, but the districts, there is no like, there's no. It's just regular claim tax. There's no like the mansion 50% tax. So I was trying to build to the districts, but it didn't. So it's forwards compatible, as in like you take your mansions and move up to districts. But I was sitting on 10 mansions at the time, and once what I was talking to him in the Discord, it was that if I were to do those 10 mansions, um, then I would get my district, but it's not backwards compatible, as in I'd have to claim those tokens and then purchase a mansion, uh, which I couldn't compound a mansion with those token profits, and so I'd have to claim and then bring them back in and do all that kind of stuff. I can't. They still have a small claim tax for districts, but it's not like the mansions. So basically, now I'm just building mansions for the time being until I can get to where it's nice and safe to to get a couple or a
So
district started.
you said they're working on a chain, right?
Yes, actually, he's working on a gasless chain. Is what he's been
What?
promoting. He's been promoting a gasless chain, um, and he's posted on Twitter a couple of times. He's had it in the Discord a couple of times. I think they're calling it Scarlet Chain. I think that's what it's actually going to be called. And to be honest with you, I have no idea how he's doing a gasless chain. But
I mean,
apparently, he showed a transaction, and like there was hardly anything there. I mean, like it wasn't even like a penny. Like it, there's still gas, but it was
okay.
so minute that it didn't like. There's no registration, as in
I mean,
basically you're not really paying anything.
a lot of my Phantom transactions are like a penny or less. I think the most I had
Okay,
on a Phantom was like 3 or 4 cents. So is it like that, or is it even lower than that?
from the picture, it looked like you basically didn't pay any. It was below a penny. You didn't. It's like
I
so
mean,
minute you wouldn't even know it was there.
I have seen a few transactions like that with Phantom. If it was completely nothing, I'd be questioning the legitimacy on that because
It wasn't all zeros, I know that,
who
but it was like I mean, to me, a gasless blockchain is where is, in my opinion, a gasless blockchain is far less than a penny, and it looked like that was where it's at,
I
but there
just,
still was numbers there.
I mean, you need validators for the gas transaction. Who's going to invest in these validators if they're not getting anything back from it? Is my my
Well, you still
hesitation
have
on that.
well with the proof of stake, it works similar, even though there'll still be um because with the validators you can stake on a validator on some of the blockchains, and then that's how they earn tokens, along with the small gas fees that get paid off the proof of stake. I think that's how the proof of stake pretty much works. Is that because there's not much gas there in general off of proof of stake uh, blockchains, that you have the validators. There, your token holders are able to stake to the validators, and so it rotates the validators around, so that way
But
it's on a
but
constant rotation of validators.
but even if they are staking to the validator, how are they getting a decent return, and what would be the benefit for them to doing that? Whether they
I
just buy the validator or stake into the validator like Avalanche has with that what's it called?
you talking about like Joe?
No, they because you can buy the validators, which I think it's like 5,000 AVAX. But
Well,
then
yeah,
they also have, it's kind of like staking in the validator like you're talking about, where they can't think of the word, but you would put at a minimum of 5 AVAX and then it'd be assigned to a validator and you get a portion of the validator from the staking.
it's. I think some of them are similar to that. But you can, with the ones that I've looked at, you can stake in as much as you want, and basically on some of them, the validators they choose how much they want to share, which to me is like, okay, if somebody tells me they're only wanting to share 5%, like I'm not gonna, you're not gonna get many people to stake on your on on your as a validator.
I don't know. I just have my hesitations on that for that reason.
And I get what you're saying, and yeah, like I said, everything's you got to always do your research and
I
figure
mean,
out what's best for you.
honestly, I think
Um,
he'd be better off making a sub chain. What is red light on? Is it Avalanche?
yeah, it's on Avalanche.
You're better off creating an Avalanche sub chain. Don't make your own chain. Get the money from those validators off that sub chain and lower your taxes. 50% claim tax or mansion tax and then 15% claim is that's ridiculous. That's gonna turn off a lot of people, I think, because
And it did it ticked off a lot of the members and all that kind of stuff. But they all they were doing was trying to put a band-aid on a leaky faucet to before, so they can get some of this other stuff, because they're working on their migration right now. because they also just had a new set of NFTs. I think that they just went on like a pre buy, not a pre sale, but like a pre like a
Kind of like a pink sale type thing.
yeah, something like that. And I want to say they went for a good little bit. Um, I wasn't able to get involved in that. My portfolio is not quite there yet either. But it's interesting to watch just watch them all in general, like with Vapor Chain, when all of them are going to a blockchain, and then they're trying to do their own decks exchange. Uh, it seems like because what Vapor was trying to do one, I think a couple others are trying to add their own decks in there.
Yeah, I definitely like that they are starting to aim towards utilities, and I'm wondering if like self auto staking protocols are going to do it. There's like Seifu Seifu have to give it to them because of what Brian did with his ID, and also the fact that one thing I think is lacking in crypto space is like actual public physical advertising.
Yeah, well, and
Um,
that's crypto in general though, and
yeah,
it's only you got 2% of crypto that's getting to utilize um, the marketing space,
I
and
mean,
that unless you're
I think marketing on Twitter and YouTube alone is not the best way. I think it does need to be physical marketing because we need more than 3%, if that number is correct, of the population. And Seifu bought a race car in England. So I give them credit for marketing on that one.
yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like all the major exchanges are the only ones that are pushing. And there's no decentralization to any of those. Crypto.com, Coinbase. There's no decentralization. Those are all centralized exchanges.
Yeah, I forgot
Um,
about that that crypto.com commercial with Matt Damon.
yeah,
And didn't
and
they have one with LeBron James at Super Bowl too?
I think so. Yeah, I believe they did. But and that's the thing is that like nobody lets the rest of the crypto get involved because you know it's not centralized, and everybody's against decentralization as well. That's another thing that crypto's fighting all together at the same time, as well as just trying to be a part of the world. And the more knowledge we can get out there, the more, like you said, like that's great that they put the company on a race car. I'm pretty sure there was one more that I want to say Richard Hart put Hex on a NASCAR.
Did he?
Um, yeah, during one of the races this season, which was good.
You know what it reminds me of? Um, I I don't know if you follow hockey at all,
A little
but
bit.
I'm a big hockey fan. I played growing up. I was a goalie,
Hmm.
and so and it was definitely a smart marketing ploy. But being a goalie, I hated it because you always took pride in what you painted on your helmet.
Right.
And I forget what year it was. One of the owners at the time of the Washington Capitals had a really, I don't know if it was a director or the producer, but a really big part in the Saw movie franchises.
Hmm.
So for the month of October, he made his two goalies wear a Saw inspired painted mask for the Washington Capitals.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a good marketing ploy for sure.
I forget who it was,
Absolutely.
who their goalie was at the time. I
Yeah.
want to say their starting goalie had a picture of that little doll on a tricycle on the side of his goalie helmet. But that's kind of what it
Oh,
reminds me of in a way.
yeah. No, but that's also like you take into other than Twitter, all the rest of the social medias and like Twitter and YouTube. You take which YouTube's not really social media, but you take any of the aspects of social media where influencers are, even the ads like on Facebook or Instagram, which aren't really have that many, ads, but there's only a certain few like crypto.com shows up and Coinbase shows up. Nothing else shows up for crypto and any of the social medias as well.
Yeah, because
Um,
I just I mean, these social media platforms that are doing that, it's supposed to be open and let you do what you want, but they're blocking this. And I know with the whole election fraud or whatever was going on with Facebook last election is,
Yeah.
I know this is a crypto podcast, but these, and I'm not going to get political, but Facebook just needs to let their users do what they want to do.
Right. But hey, with the way Elon is trying to purchase Twitter, Facebook may be the next one on the list.
I'm
Yeah,
just wondering how much Doge advertising that's going to be seen on there. Do you think when he posted his picture of his dog, that was intended as an advertisement for either Doge or SHIB? Or do you think he just
yeah.
wanted a Shiba Inu?
I think that he is a smart man, and he knows exactly what he's doing. And the fact that all he's got to do is take one picture, say one word, like he could tweet right now and just tweet the word Doge, and then there'll be probably close to $1 million bought of Doge today. Like
That's a
he's that big of an influencer, and yeah, by taking one picture of a dog, everybody's like, "Oh my goodness, Doge
what
is
if
about to
he
go about to go to the moon."
what if he just wanted a dog?
Well, I mean, but see, that's the thing is like he could, and nobody's ever going to know that because he doesn't dive in deep to what he's doing. He would just throw hints out there, and so everybody thinks, like a picture of a dog. Oh, is it sheep? Is it Doge? Which one? Okay, I'll buy both. Whew. And I mean, like he can flip markets anytime he wants to.
Maybe I'll ask him to do an interview on my YouTube. Just that specific question. That's it.
Right, and that's it. You never know. He may join in. Yeah. Um,
And give me a free Cybertruck too. Wait, didn't he
yeah,
like
that would.
leave Tesla or is he planning on leaving Tesla?
No, I don't. I don't think he. I think he was. Was he stepping down? But I
Because of
think he still was
Twitter?
going to be. I think it was still going to be the major shareholder, because I thought he was wanting to put more effort into SpaceX for some reason there for a little while.
I don't know. He just needs to put out another flamethrower so when I could afford one.
I mean, he has the power and the money to basically do whatever he wants to. I mean, he helped Ukraine out with internet with his satellites. I mean, like I thought that was pretty awesome. He's trying to bring true free speech back to Twitter. Like it, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of Elon. I thought that because I was going off of other things like where he was trying to name his kid with letters and symbols, and I was like, this dude's off his rocker. Like he may be a smart man, he's got a lot of money, but he's like, come on, man, give him a regular name. Um, but he's starting to show um, I guess his true self finally, who he really is, and that he actually does want to actually help people. He's not like a Bill Gates that acts like he wants to help people and then just take everybody's money. Um, but like the funny thing is that Twitter acts like they're never going to sell to him, but basically he could buy Twitter for the amount that he offered,
Everybody
and
has a price. He'll get it.
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, so he could buy Twitter for the amount that he offered, and then still be able to give everybody in the world at least, I think, $1 million. That's crazy.
Yeah. But we're wrapping up on close to an hour. I don't want to make this
Yeah,
too long and have people fall asleep. But I do just
absolutely.
want to bring up one more thing with the before we got talking about non crypto related dogs. Well, actually, I guess there's crypto related dogs, but and hockey, which is my fault. Sorry about that. Um,
Yeah.
auto staking. How do you feel about auto staking? I definitely like how Sphere is actually trying to work on utilities, and it definitely gave me a good return, which covered two other coins I bought in, plus what I bought in there, plus another $300 profit. But do you think auto staking is going to last? There's actually a new auto staking NFT game, which impresses me because they are completely doxed. So which is good to see that I'm thinking about. Uh, but I'm just wondering, what do you think auto staking? even if they get utilities at their rates, do you think that they could actually last?
I think they could, but not with the APY percentages that they've thrown out. And I think that's what we're seeing right now with Sphere. You know, as they are teetering and then they keep dropping, and it's not. Which I know that they explained in an AMA that the drop there will be a drop. I can't remember exactly what was going to be the cause of all that. Auto staking in general, I like the idea of it. I'm surprised that most of the node projects haven't done like auto compounding. I know some of them have tried, like some of the ones have tried, like Smart Nodes. I think has auto compounding, which I didn't get into because of their huge debacle in their initial startup. But I think they're doing okay. I haven't looked at them since then. Unicorn, of course, was going to have auto compounding, but we're never going to get to see how that was going to play
I
out.
was really disappointed with that. I really,
Yeah,
especially the whale deterrence that they had with
right.
the fake LPs.
hmm
I
Yeah,
really
it's
did like that.
yeah the but auto staking in general, I like it because it's something that you don't have to technically, you don't have to keep going in and clicking stay or add or keep clicking compound or anything like that. But in the essence of those type projects, to me, they're going to have to dial down their APYs a lot, in my opinion, um, to bring some stability. Because with Elephant, what they had an exploit, and that's what caused them to drop. Um,
Yeah, with Elephant, I was luckily trunk stayed pegged, and
yeah,
that's what I was in. I had very little Elephant. I actually just did it for the trunk, and I kind of wish I waited till after that, just because
yeah,
of fact now that they're staking, not their
hmm
bonds, they're staking. Bonds are still 80% APR,
okay,
or sorry, 200% APR. Their staking was 80% APR. And I saw this, but thought, okay, they just got exploited. I'm gonna wait a little bit, see how they recover from this.
right,
And it looks like they're doing a decent job. They're still up, they're still plugging away, but they're staking APR right now. At least of when I put some in yesterday was 1,124,
wow,
and they didn't touch their bond APR, which is like makes me think, okay, this is not going to last long.
yeah,
It can't. There's no way the staking APR is that high is going to last that long when their bond is a fifth of that, sixth of that.
right, yeah,
Actually, glad
the
you brought that up because I did want to actually talk about that, but
right,
we just got sidetracked and I completely forgot.
totally understandable. No, but there's like all of them, you know, it with those they're great to get in the beginning, and then kind of like those you have to keep an eye on unless they bring the APY down to something that's more reasonable. Because like those percentages, those will never last. Anything,
This game I
any,
was talking about, Petaverse. Sorry to cut you off.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Game I was talking about, Petaverse, that's mixing auto staking and the NFT game. And I may actually look at it during the pink sale just because they are doxxed. Like they have the CEO's Twitter. He's up in Washington State, so that's not that far away for me to drive or fly if I get screwed and find him. I
Right.
think he even lists his like locations of where he works. If the FBI is listening, I'm not going to do that. Um, but 2 million, over 2 million.
hmm
That's their APR.
That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So unless they do something with the game, and they have an FAQ, I was half asleep when I found it, and I was so busy the last 2 days I didn't really get to dive in. So I got
Yeah,
to see. It does say one of the questions is this sustainable. So I got to really go through that with a fine tooth comb.
yeah, I'll take a look at that
But
too.
if
But
it's if if
that's crazy.
if it's sustainable and the game maybe something I may jump in on. Once again, not financial advice. Don't ever buy something because I buy it, or don't
Right.
buy because I don't buy. Like, for example, I sold my Sphere. I think I have very little left, but I think Sphere is a good project. Personally, the reason I sold it is it started coming down, and then for some reason it wasn't on my Discord anymore. And I don't know if it's because I didn't verify and now I can't get back into the Discord. If I can't see what's going on with the project, I'm not going to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do
Absolutely.
miss the returns I was getting with Sphere, but I'm not going to risk it. I'll keep what I have in there. If it continues to grow, I still have at least a little bit growing.
Yeah, I'm still riding it. I wasn't watching it like everybody else was, and I missed the boat on that one. So I'm just gonna just continue riding it. Uh,
I
but
do like how they are trying to incorporate some
no,
utilities, which I believe is a first for the auto staking.
yeah. Um, they they talk a pretty good game, but like you were saying, like don't ever go off of if we're accidentally shilling something because we like it. Um, don't ever just buy in because hey, we like it.
Yeah, sorry about that
Always
if
do.
that's what
No, no,
we're
no, no. I
putting
wouldn't. I
off.
wouldn't say what you. I'm just. No, I'm just. Everybody, do your own research. We are nowhere close to even be financial advisors. Period. So always do your own research.
I
And
work in cybersecurity. I've been in crypto for 2 months. My girlfriend works for a financial place, but not an advisor, and she doesn't know anything about crypto anyway. So taking my advice is not a good thing. Take what I give you, uh, information wise, what I know, and like
yeah, absolutely.
do your own research. And plus, each situation, each like I wouldn't have put the money in I did if I didn't get a decent tax return this year because it's money I didn't need. If you're going to put
Right.
anything in, put money in that you don't care if you lose.
That's exactly right. Whatever you decide to put into these things, or these projects, or crypto in general, just go ahead and either expect to lose it and be happy if you ever you get gains. But I mean, and I say that laughing because as of right now, I'm sitting sub like at par, and I've been in since like right at the end of January, so I've been in just about the same amount of time as you. um and I feel like I've always been late to everything. And the one project I thought was going to be my new go-to was Unicorn because I got in early, and then of course, boom, blah.
That looked that project looks
um,
so good, honestly.
yeah, but no, I still got a great outlook on all this because once again, I always have to remind myself that we are in the infancy of all of this.
It,
Just like with the different NFT projects, that some are doing lotteries, and then like Compounding Cavemen, where they're like, "Hey, lottery system we think is no bueno, but basically you purchase an NFT from us, and we'll take that and we'll put it towards an actual node, and we'll be getting if you got invested in that, then you will be getting the tokens of that node once it ROIs." Um, which
I,
which actually, talking about that, the first man has been on vacation because he just uh, chatted back in the Discord just a little bit ago.
oh, did he?
They,
I know he
yeah, that he's
messaged me when I brought up, listen, I'm gonna go public with this information unless you respond back. It's been 3 days. What's going on? And then I'm on vacation. I was okay. Okay, I
he's at
understand. A lot of hard
actually
work.
just
Go ahead,
yeah,
take the vacation. It's not like I'm getting the coins right now anyway. So
yeah, yeah, he's been down in Cancun is what he actually said. So
I gotta start
so
up a
he'd
crypto so I could take a vacation to Cancun whenever I want.
yeah, be nice to get to that point. But no, and there's a couple other crypto NFT projects. One that was called the Node Tickets. They just recently changed their names to the Crypto Tickets or the Crypto Ticket. Um, they're not. They started off as a lottery NFT project, but now saw that there wasn't long term, and that they're wanting to build it to long term. So they're doing much more diverse investing, and that and it's sort of like the compounding caveman of the second phase of it, where like once they invest, everybody gets something. So that's what they're doing. The crypto ticket is doing, kind of as they do their diversity investing, is that once they build up a treasury, everybody will be getting some form of uh, something. I don't know if it's going to be a token of some sort, but it just like every time you turn around, there's somebody changing the game about everything, and I feel like there's so much that we could talk about it. We can talk for 5 hours.
There was another one actually I wanted to bring up, but I was actually kind of disappointed on. I wasn't going to buy it because I just didn't have the funds for it, but it looked like a pretty decent project. Heroes and
Mhm.
Villains.
Okay.
Um, apparently they just something happened where they didn't get the sales they wanted and closed up shop. It does look like that that they are releasing funds and giving people refunds though. So that's nice. That's good that they're doing that.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
it seems like an interesting project. They were wanting 3.2 AVAX,
Hmm.
an NFT.
That's a little
Um,
pricey.
yeah. So if it was like one AVAX, maybe I would have jumped in, but
Yeah.
luckily, the person was doxxed. He has his own YouTube channel. Luckily, he's sending. I just saw something on Discord saying he is sending back the money. Apparently, they were having issues with the one of the devs, uh, and he was the one with the function to release all the funds. So I thought, oh boy, it's another rug, especially from someone who has a YouTube channel and is doxxed. But luckily, that
Right.
doesn't look like to be the case. But it could have been because you
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
know how these devs are going to act. So even
Oh yeah.
if most of the team is docked and one doxed and one dev decides just takes the money and run, and a lot of these projects don't know each other in person. So even being doxed,
Yeah.
it
It's still does not a guarantee that
no,
it's not
it's
going to be a
not.
rug. Yeah.
And this is like I was saying before, you that's why I understand the hesitation on docs because if he didn't get that money back, if his dev ran, I
Mhm.
feel like people would probably hunt him down.
They probably try, but I mean, but for the most part, like I don't know. For me, I have to sit back and think, okay, some of these guys we're talking to may not be, an American, or may not be in America. They may be somewhere else. And a lot of these projects actually are people that aren't in America, and which, me and you are. But that's another thing you have to think about is, okay, what country are they actually in? And then, okay,
Well,
is it going to be feasible for me to actually start trying to find and figure out who this person is?
well, in a few months, I might not be in America.
Hey,
I'm moving over to Jersey, and apparently, how most of this country doesn't want Jersey part of America for some reason, but it doesn't matter because we got pork roll. So you call. I'm not going to say it because it's going to be on YouTube. We
right.
got pork roll and Bruce Springsteen, even though I'm more of a fan of punk and metal, not really Bruce
Yeah.
Springsteen. But
Yeah.
uh,
But
yeah,
no, and see, like that's another thing is, if for some reason, get lucky and start, making, hey Andy money, or James Pelton money, with crypto, I'm gonna move down to Puerto Rico.
yeah,
I'm
that's
not I'm not paying I'm not paying for those capital gains tax, man. That ain't happening. I'm not giving the government my money that
that's
I worked hard for and earned free. So
that's one thing that I actually, and maybe it's because I'm just not on that level, but I just don't want to ever get to the point that I would actually, and I'm not going to mention names. I mean, you just gave off a few, and I cannot confirm or deny either of them. Uh, but there has I was talking with one of the project leads who I can't remember which one it was honestly, but they mentioned that there was and keep in mind there were a lot of big crypto YouTubers
Yeah,
including Chris Wolfpup or Crypto Wolfpup, which by far is the best. Uh,
absolutely.
but no, there are. Sorry, I just had to. I know I don't want to show,
Yeah,
but I
of
had to throw that in there.
course. Yeah, yeah,
But there are
absolutely.
some big YouTubers, and I would totally guess that actually charge projects to interview them. I don't know which ones it is. Um,
Oh,
he
I've seen
mentioned one of
firsthand.
them, but I can't
I've seen
remember. Well,
firsthand.
I think I remember who they said it was, but I don't want to be sure. And just because of fact, it is what one person said, and I don't believe something unless I physically see it happen.
Right. No, I get you. Um, I'm a part of one of the discords, and I won't mention any names or anything like that as well. But the Discord was asking. They were doing a vote on, do we do an AMA with such a YouTube influencer, or do we do do we do our own AMA with somebody else or something like that? And then they came out and they're like, well, if we do it with this person, um, this is what it's going to cost us. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like,
Yeah, I
because
just
it wasn't cheap. It wasn't even close to being cheap.
I
And
understand the reason you would charge. You want to get money. It's your thing. You're doing it. You definitely got the name to do it. But at what point does it go from helping you pay your bills of doing full time to just getting money and not really helping your viewers? And where's that line? And is there a line? I don't ever. There was one project I did where I did get donated on it, but I told him flat out, listen, you don't have to do this. Um, it's I'm not asking for this. He said, yeah, I know, I'm just feeling nice today. So
yeah,
I did end up taking it. It didn't influence my review at all. And
right.
I told him that it's not going to influence my review. And that was really nice and I do appreciate it, but it's not, I, I'm, I want to help people make proper decisions for themselves, which is why I try my best not to shill, even with that project. Um,
Absolutely.
I just, I don't
If
want to,
if
I don't ever want to see me get to that point. And if I do, I think it's time for me to get out of the space.
I totally understand what you're saying. And in my opinion, on all of that, I understand why some of them would want to make that their kind of their livelihood. They're like, that's what they're enjoying, and that's their full time. They're wanting to become a full time, YouTube person, and that's helping them become, more popular on YouTube, or and help pushing them on Twitter.
Is
For
if you,
me, if I
sorry,
was,
sorry.
if I were to do it, like how you're doing the community wallet, anything like I would just ask it for donation, like donation to the community wallet. And that would be the only thing I would, if they wanted to give something. Now, I would never ask for a fee, but I don't ever see myself doing YouTube or anything like that. I just I'm too spastic, I guess you'd say. Like I can sit and talk all day long, but like
I can tell you
right
right
now
now
we're
that editing is not fun. It seems like, okay, I'm
yeah,
gonna have these three projects out in 5 hours because I'm gonna just edit them all at once. Take my intro cards. It's not like my videos are the best edited videos in the world. I'm sure I could do this, but then there's always something that screws it up and delays it by 3 hours. Like, okay, looks like I'm not sleeping until 4 a.m. tonight again.
I totally get that. But me, like I'm a hands mover, a talker. I'm a like not want to sit still kind of guy. So I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all
I
sit
keep my
still in front
hands
of a camera.
underneath the camera's view, is what I do.
I don't see how y'all do it. Like for me, man, my hands would be everywhere. Like I'd be sitting here, I'd be messing with like a bottle or a cup or something. Like the most unpopular things to do in front of a camera, I would be doing them. So I don't ever see myself being one of those YouTube people. You never know. I mean, that may change, of course,
I
but
mean,
no. In my aspects of going back to that, like I would never like you. I would be one of those ones that would want to push truth and all the truth of information that I could possibly give, so somebody could take that information and make a decision for themselves and make it a best decision for themselves or their family and investing themselves, versus somebody who's showing this project because they're getting paid for it.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, it if they give you something like I'm waiting on the because I just passed today I was waiting to get to 100 Twitter followers. And last night I was like 98. I think I'm at like 117 now, if not more.
it's
Um,
blowing up, man. It's
yeah, I
just
don't
blowing
under.
up.
I was not really expecting. I mean, I YouTube for like 2 months. I'm at 50, like over 50 people. I was not expecting this. I thought it would take months to get to that point. But so I'm actually waiting on confirmation for a um, a Polar creator code.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know how that works, which I think it's really cool that they're doing this. It's like the people who use a creator code, that creator gets I, so much percentage of the sale, I think. I have to look more exactly what it is. I want to say it's like 20% of the buy or 20% of the tax. I think it's
Yeah.
20% of the tax.
Okay.
And then there's also I believe it's a 2% discount on for the people that use the code to get a node or a lucky box. But any money I get from there, I'm actually going to split down the middle and try to continue building my Polar. But then
Hmm.
half of it's also going to go into the community wallet. Uh, so that way the community has some Polar to play with as well.
Yeah, that's I like that a lot. I like that they're doing that. I also like the your idea of putting it into, taking some for yourself, because you are doing the content, you are putting all this together. I mean, it takes time out of your life to do all this,
A lot of
and then you're
time.
also and that you're putting it into the community wallet as well.
I need to hire
And
someone to
I
add
don't
it.
know anybody else who, and I'm not following everybody under the crypto sun, but like I don't know anybody else who's doing like a community wallet like you're doing. Like that's another aspect that I think is awesome that you're doing. That like, okay, hey, you know, not just
Um,
me,
I,
everybody else who's part of the community wallet has an influence of like, hey, where do we want to put the money?
I
I
do
think that's
just
awesome.
I do want people to know that this is not scripted. I did not intend to talk about it, but it
Of
actually
course.
does bring up one more point, and we probably should wrap this up because it's close
Yeah.
to an hour and a half now at this point,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I kind of want to keep these under an hour so
I
people
got you.
don't fall asleep. But it does bring up one good point, especially for new people, is not to join my Discord, but that would be cool. Just had to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Hey, no
Um,
big deal.
but you need to, and I don't see this a lot in YouTube or anyone. You need to diversify. You can't just buy one or two projects. Like I
Absolutely.
said, with my Sphere, covered my Leviathan and my Yieldzilla and itself and still gave me profit. But now I pretty much have free Yieldzilla and free Leviathan building. So one, it helps you cover what failed to meet the expectations you thought of when investing in the first place. And two, if you have stable coins, that is you're not gonna really lose the money. I'm sure there's sort of some risk there, but it is so minimum if you have the stable coins. Uh, I think that's something that needs to be in portfolio and chain coins. Because when I first started back with Doge, or was it Doge? I think there were so many times I went to buy Doge or I went to go buy something and then no gas.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I
Ah.
yeah, it's make sure you have chain coin. Try to keep it's been really hard recently. I'll tell you that right now. But I do try. Keyword is
Oh,
try
Yeah.
keep at least $20 to $25 in in the chain coin of the wallet that I use. So I pretty much deal with BNB, Phantom, um, AVAX, and Matic. So I try to keep at all times if I can. Once again, it's been very hard this last couple of weeks because everything's coming out. I try to keep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what I did is I actually created a new. I created it already. I just don't have it in there yet. But it's called the Vault Wallet. That I'm just gonna put my chain coins in and only use that wallet, transfer over what I need for gas. It's a good thing about ledgers.
Yeah, it
You
makes
could
sense.
have
Yeah.
like 8 different wallets or something like that, even on the $50 ledger on the Nano.
That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
So,
You definitely are diverse off those chains you named. I think I'm only dealing with like 2 or 3.
yeah, I think I'm a total like a minimum of maybe 15 projects. I don't know. I don't have my list on me, but I think last I counted was
Yeah.
like 17 or 18. But they're also all really low.
Right.
And seeing what I can build up. And then if something's going good, I'm going to put a little more in it and continue to build it as well if it's going good. But if it tanks, like honestly, probably 80-90% of DeFi projects are going to fail at some point.
Well, as of right now, yeah, because there's no signs of true utility yet.
Yeah. I think once the utility factors in, it's going to be better percentages and the ones that stick around. But I think that having it that way it'll cover losses I have because you're bound to unless you have worse luck than me, which I don't know many people that do. You're bound to have 1 or 2 winners, and that's really all you need is 1 or 2 to blow up to cover it all.
Everything. Yeah, absolutely. And,
So if you can invest
yeah.
$500, don't put 400 in one project.
No, not at all. Yeah, definitely diverse it out for sure.
But, yeah, I think we should probably wrap up. I really don't have much more to say. I don't know if you want to say anything.
No, other than I enjoyed this first episode, and hopefully we have many more. And I'm sure Chris will give all the posts of whatever is necessary because you're the one
Yeah,
doing
this
all
is gonna
you're
go up
the
on
editor.
YouTube. I'm working on getting figuring out what other one we could do it. So maybe we can get this on Spotify. It'll be in the Discord. I do want to say I will try my best not to shill my own projects or any projects, but my own projects again, which I do blame SlimeTime for because he brought it up, not me, not me.
Hey. Well,
Yeah,
no, I had to just say that you're doing stuff that other people aren't. That's I wasn't trying to shield your project, just to give everybody information of information. Let them do the research on it, and if they want to get involved, they can get involved.
that's what I want to see happen. Actually, I would want to see that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, definitely shoot us some comments on what you think our name should be. I see you're a little bear. I would say the Bunny and the Bear, but I'm not a bunny, and that's the name of a
Right.
band. It just came up in my mind. And I'm probably going to listen to them after this. If you don't know the Bunny and the Bear, they're kind of a mix of EDM and post-hardcore. It's extremely odd, but very, very comforting, at least to me.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if
I'll
you want,
check them out.
come into the Discord when we're done with this, and I'll because there's that music channel.
Okay.
I'll play a song for you just to see what you like, how you feel about it.
Right. But also,
You don't
one
have
other
any
thing is
kids or dogs in the room, do you?
no,
Okay.
not at all. Also, one thing is, like, if y'all have any questions or y'all want us to maybe do some research ourselves and talk about a specific project, because we're keeping this kind of open as far as not really scripted or topics, more along the lines of what may be
Obvious,
happening
it's
this
not
week.
scripted.
Yeah. But if anybody has any questions, or they want us to maybe do some research on a project or explain something that you may not understand, that we may not understand either, but we'll just do the best we can. But ask away on the comments or in the Discord, or if you're part of the Discord, but comments on the YouTube channel. And then once we get the podcast up on maybe some other stuff like Spotify, or maybe Apple Podcasts or something like that, just throw in some comments there, and we'll definitely do that on the next one.
And also let us know if you want to see our faces on the next one or if you don't care.
Yeah.
So,
that's
which
another
means
one.
I will actually have to attempt to look pretty again, which I can't do normally anyway, but as you can see on my YouTube. Okay. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully you made it all
Yep.
this way. If you
Yep,
didn't,
absolutely.
you deserve a cookie. And I don't recommend getting one sent from us because you don't know us and you don't know what's in the
Right.
cookie.
Absolutely. You never know.
But yeah. And I hope everybody has a good day then.
Yep, absolutely.
And also, if you are part of a project and would like to be interviewed on here, we could either do an AMA in my Discord and put that up on YouTube, or we could do this as a podcast setting and you just come in as a podcast. So,
yep,
you have options.
Always.
All right. Well, have a good day, everybody.